Let us learn about BP. Blood pressure is nothing but BP. This is the short form. What is BP or what is blood pressure? The pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of artery is called as blood pressure. So I'll write the definition here. The pressure exerted by blood on the walls of blood vessel, that is artery. This is called as blood pressure. Why we are mentioning artery? Because in veins we will not find high blood pressure. That's why. And moreover, we check BP in arteries only, not in veins, because in artery the pressure is high. That's the reason. And one more reason is arteries take the blood from the heart. Heart pumps the blood with a pressure, and immediately with that pressure, with that force, blood will enter into the artery. That's why to check the blood pressure, we check in arteries, and that in radial artery, which is present in upper arm. And do you know we prefer left hand, left arm, not the right arm, because left arm, left upper arm is very close to the heart, because heart is present slightly towards the left side. That's why to get blood pressure we check in left arm compared with right arm, because left arm is very close to the heart. And why we check BP in left arm or we check BP in upper arm? Because the BP in lower arm is different, the BP in leg is different. So blood pressure is different in different areas of our body. But generally we check BP in this place because this part is very close to the heart. Upper arm, left upper arm is very close to the heart. Okay, we can check BP right side also, but generally most preferable place is left upper arm because it is very close to the heart. Blood pressures are of two types: systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. So let us see now. First type is systolic pressure. What is systolic pressure? When ventricles contract. So you know that this is heart. So in this heart, so whenever these ventricles contract, these two are ventricles. This is right ventricle, this is left ventricle. Whenever ventricle contract, the blood flows into the artery with a pressure, and that pressure is called as systolic pressure. So the normal systolic pressure is 120 mm of Hg, is nothing but mercury. Understood? And what is diastolic pressure? Diastolic pressure is nothing but the relaxation of this ventricle. So when this ventricles relax, then what happens? The blood will flow into these ventricles and pressure decreases. The blood pressure decreases in blood vessels. So that pressure is called as diastolic pressure. So next one is diastolic pressure. So diastolic pressure is normal. Diastolic pressure is 80 mm of Hg. Okay. So what is diastolic pressure? These ventricles relax. When ventricles relax, the pressure in the blood vessel, artery, that is decreases. Understood? And that pressure is called as diastolic pressure. So systolic pressure is seen whenever ventricles contract. That is systolic pressure. When ventricles relax, the pressure which we find in artery, that is diastolic pressure. So normal systolic pressure is 120, diastolic pressure is 80. So normal BP is 120 by 80. This is normal blood pressure. Understood? You need to remember. Normal blood pressure is 120 by 80. 120 is systolic pressure, 80 is diastolic pressure. Now, if BP is higher than this, generally BP will vary. If you are in tension mode, or if you are in anxiety, if you are walking, if you are running, if you are writing exam in tension, then normally adrenal hormone will release, and this adrenal hormone will increases the BP. That is common. But if you are in the resting position, if you are in the relaxed mood and resting position, if at that time, if normal BP increases, then we call it as, that condition is called as hypertension. We call it as hypertension. So, high BP is hypertension, low BP is hypotension. Understood? So, hypertension, if BP is high when you are walking, we will not call it as hypertension. If BP is high when you are in relaxed or resting phase, at that time if BP is high, we call it as hypertension. How doctors check this BP? Doctors will check BP in adults with an instrument called sphygmomanometer. And called sphygmomanometer. With the sphygmomanometer, they check BP. So, how they check BP? Let us see. Let us draw and see. So, mercury, here you will have values. A scientist called Korolev, N. Korolev, is a scientist who developed this sphygmomanometer for checking BP earlier. And this is a cloth, we call it as cuff. This is a cloth which we tie around the upper arm. And this is a pump. So this is called as pump. Here mercury is present, Hg, this mercury will enter here. We need to place this on the table, and you have to sit near the table on a chair, and you tie this cuff or a cloth around the upper arm. Then you pump the air. So air will go inside this. Whenever air go inside this cloth will inflate. They look like swelling. So they'll inflate. And after they inflate, that air from cuff or a cloth will enter into this tube, pushes the mercury to upper level. So we need to pump till 200. To how much? 200. Because at this pressure, what happens? When this hand is squeezed, upper arm is squeezed, then this muscles will squeezes the artery, radial artery which is present here, and it will stop the blood flow from upper arm to the lower arm. So blood flow will stop. Then immediately what we should do? We need to slowly reduce this pressure, and we have to see for the sound. So first sound where you hear, that is systolic pressure, and second sound where you hear, that is diastolic pressure. Understood? So this is sphygmomanometer. A quick review. Blood pressure or BP. It is checked in upper arms, which is close, left upper arm which is close to the heart, because in different parts of the body BP is different. So we prefer only upper arm, it is close to our heart. So normal BP is 120/80. If it is above this, we call it as hypertension. If it is above this normal BP at resting phase, we call it as hypertension. Then what is BP? The pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of blood vessels, especially artery, we call it as blood pressure. So there are two types of pressure, systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Systolic pressure is whenever ventricles are contracted, then immediately blood with the pressure will flow into the artery, and that pressure we call it as systolic pressure. Whenever ventricles relax, then we see a pressure, a reduced in pressure, and that pressure in arteries we call it as diastolic pressure. This is checked with the help of sphygmomanometer, which is developed by Jan Korolyov. So by using this sphygmomanometer, we check BP. Now let us learn coagulation of blood or clotting of blood. So coagulation or clotting of blood. Generally, when blood is present in our body, blood will not clot due to presence of heparin. Heparin is released by mast cells of our body, and these mast cells will release heparin. This heparin, which is present in the blood, will prevent the clotting of blood in the blood vessels in our body. But whenever this blood comes out, then what happens? Immediately it clots. So how clotting process occurs? Let us see. And if blood will not clot, what happens? Let us see that condition. So before going to that, let us understand what is blood is. We know that a blood is a fluid or a liquid. It is a connective tissue which carries oxygen, nutrients to all cells, and from all cells it takes waste material and it brings to the excretory system for disposing out. And a blood contains many proteins, water, and many enzymes. It also has blood cells. So this is very important, blood cells. There are three types of blood cells: RBC, WBC and platelets. So there are three types of blood vessels: RBC, WBC and platelets. See, in mammals we call this as platelets, but in other vertebrates we call it as thrombocytes. Thrombocytes and platelet function is same. But in mammals we call it as platelets, whereas in other vertebrates we call it as thrombocytes. Thrombocytes and platelets function is same. They help in clotting the blood. But how this is helping in clotting the blood, let us see. Now imagine that this is a blood vessel. This is a blood vessel. So I already told you, in the blood vessels many blood cells are present. So these are blood cells. So this is platelets. So these cells are platelets. Whenever you are playing cricket or any other outdoor game, suddenly you will fall down. When you fell down, you will get the hurt and bleeding will occur. But after 3 to 6 minutes, blood will clot. Blood flow will stop and blood will clot within 3 to 6 minutes. So how this clotting is occurring? Let us see. This is a blood vessel. In this blood vessel, blood cells are present and some fluid is also present here. Okay. So liquid part is present. This is the blood vessel. In this blood vessels, platelets are present. Now, when you get hurt here in the blood vessel and when blood is flowing here, then immediately platelets will get the signal. Okay, to start the mechanism, to start the process of clotting or coagulation. Then what happens? With the help of vitamin K, platelets, these are platelets. So these platelets, with the help of vitamin K, they release thrombokinase, an enzyme called thrombokinase. This thrombokinase will act on prothrombin. Prothrombin is a protein which is present in blood. So prothrombin is a protein which is present in the blood, is converted into thrombin. Prothrombin is converted into thrombin with the help of an enzyme called thrombokinase. This is an enzyme. Okay. So with the help of thrombokinase, prothrombin is converted into thrombin. Now this thrombin converts fibrinogen, which is present in the blood, to insoluble fibrin. So fibrinogen, which is present in the blood, is converted into fibrin. This is insoluble by thrombin. So this thrombin converts fibrinogen into fibrin. Now this fibrin are thread-like structures. These are fibers, thread-like fibers These thread-like fibers, these are insoluble, and these thread-like fibers, they come to the site of wound. So they come here and they form a network here like a net, fish net like that they form here, and they come together and they form a net here, and they will stop the flow of the blood. So this fibrin, which have a thread-like fibers, these fibers, they go to the site of injury and they they close the wound and they form a net-like structure and they stop the flow of the blood. After clotting, a yellow color fluid, a liquid is seen. That yellow color liquid is called as serum. We call it as serum. So a yellow color liquid which is seen after the blood clot at the site of injury is called as serum. A quick review here. Whenever you get the wound or when you get the cut in the hand or injury, then when blood is flowing out, immediately platelets will get the signal. Platelets, with the help of vitamin K, they release an enzyme called thrombokinase. This thrombokinase converts prothrombin protein, which is present in the blood, to thrombin. This thrombin will convert fibrinogen, which is present in the blood, to fibrin. Fibrins are insoluble fiber, thread-like structures which come to the site of injury and they form a net-like structures and they stop the blood, prevent the flow of blood. This is called as blood clotting or coagulation. This process will occur just within 3 to 6 minutes. If blood is not stopping, if continuously blood is flowing, that condition is called as hemophilia. What is that condition is called as? Hemophilia. Hemophilia occurs due to deficiency of vitamin K. So this is because of deficiency of vitamin K. Vitamin K deficiency in our body causes hemophilia. Hemophilia is nothing but delay in blood clotting. Blood will not clot and continuously flow. If blood continuously flow, then people may not survive. There is a less chance of surviving. Next, one more disease related to blood is called as thalassemia. So next is thalassemia. Thalassemia is a inherited blood disorder which occurs in many people, especially children, which is seen. It is a inherited. Inherited means which comes from generation, from parents, which comes from the parents. And this disease is due to deficiency of hemoglobin. This is because of deficiency of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a red color pigment which is present in RBC for transporting the oxygen. Anemia is caused due to hemoglobin deficiency. So skin becomes pale in color, and that is because of hemoglobin, due to deficiency of hemoglobin. And you will get breathing problems also, because if hemoglobin is more in the blood, then it carries more amount of oxygen which is required for your body, for normal functioning of our body. But if hemoglobin is not there, then who will bring this oxygen which is required for the body? So you'll get the shortage of oxygen in your body, and you'll face many other problems. And nearly 4.5 millions of the people in the world are suffering with this thalassemia, and there is a treatment for this thalassemia. So we need to find this problem early stages in children, so that treatment will be given and children can be saved.